right, it's a new year and it's time to get organized. Isn't that what everybody does? At least that's what I'm doing. It's a bit of a goal of mine because my apartment is a bit of a mess right now. Specifically the kitchen. We've lived here for about 2 years now and there are 2 cabinets that drive me bonkers. Hey, I'm Janelle and this is toDIYfor, and today we are doing some kitchen organization. I am using pretty well everything from the dollar store to kind of get myself organized and space safe, because we do have a small kitchen in our rental apartment. Maybe you're in the same boat. So I'm gonna take you through what I'm gonna do that hopefully helps make a positive change in my life and will create some sort of ease while I'm in that space. But also, just a little walk down memory lane of a few of the DIYs that I still use today that I made years ago. And I've carried them throughout other apartments with me because I think they're really great space-saving hacks for anybody who has a small kitchen, probably most likely renters. So let's get into it. All right, here's a quick look at my small kitchen. That corner there is a bit of a problem area we're going to tackle. This side, not too bad. I like to keep my countertops clear as possible. But this cupboard is the worst. This is the bulk of our pantry storage, and I know it's not a lot. So there's a lot kind of crammed in there, and I just need to reorganize it. So, I mean, first things first, obviously just going to empty the entire cabinet. And I'm actually going to readjust these shelves. Luckily, I can change them the way that they are set up. So I'm going to do a good clean, which obviously is always a good idea when you are doing some reorganizing. And these are a bunch of jars that I picked up for my new dry goods. So I stacked them just to see how high I needed to lift that shelf. And I have just little plastic pegs there that readjust. So these containers actually came from the dollar store. I think they're really like cute and aesthetically pleasing, only $3 a piece. The larger ones did come from IKEA, a little more expensive, but glass and bamboo, and I just peeled off all the stickers, cleaned them all up. And here is another option if you don't want to spend any money on new containers. I, in the past, have reused old candle holders. That's what I had been using for a few of my items. You just clean them out and they work actually really good. So I will say the reason I'm not doing that is because I wanted to invest in some of this storage, because I think maybe one day I might want to have, these pantry items out on display. So I want them to be uniform and looking the same. But also I just simply didn't have any more empty candle holders to, use as storage. When I stocked these all in the cupboard, I put some of the baking goods at the back because I know I'm not going to access them very regularly. The oatmeal and the chia seeds are something that I use every single day when I make my breakfast, so I wanted them easy access. Up top, I basically just organized these cans into rows. So I've got like my canned tomatoes, all of my beans, my tuna, my pasta sauce all in a row. Okay, so this is the rest of our pantry storage. It's above the oven and it's just not really great because I need a step stool to even get to that top counter. So I'm going to make the most of it here. We have a container from the dollar store again, and $4. I went with the clear version because I want to see what's inside this container. And oh my gosh, stickers are the worst. But this container was also the perfect width for all of my bulk spices that I have. So I think it's going to be a great way to organize them. In the front, I'm going to tuck in the udon noodles that we do eat regularly. Now I can pull this whole drawer down and then restock all of my spices. So that brings me to a DIY that I did quite a few years ago. And these are little jars from the dollar store, hot glued a magnet onto the bottom of them. And then I just painted a little bit of chalk paint on the top so I can write down what spices are in each of those jars. And I love this DIY. It sits on top of my oven and works perfectly. So now that is reorganized in that little container, it's just going to be able to slide in and out very easily. We've got extra oils, some crackers, just kind of like random things that we don't use very often. Up top, I am going to be tucking away the rest of my bulk storage, like sugar, flour, oatmeal, extra random kind of cooking, baking supplies that I don't use very regularly. And then I'm going to put the rest of my bulk spices in front of it. This is just what works for me because those things I know I'm going to be accessing way more frequently. All right, this is like my random drawer, but also my coffee, tea kind of nook. I have got some herbs, seeds. I've got my microgreen seeds because I grow those regularly. So I'm going to tuck those away up in the top. This little box is going to house some of our card games and some of my boyfriend's vitamins. Again, easy access, pull that little cabinet down. This is a little storage container I got again from the dollar store for $4. And I thought it was perfect for all of our little tea bags, perfectly organize them. This is a like Advent tea calendar that I got, and it has a lot of these little kind of tins inside. So there weren't many left, so I thought I'd get rid of that entire big box, and then I tucked the rest of them in here as well with all of my teas. And now this just slides right perfectly into this cupboard, which I put a little extra shelf in, again, from the dollar store. So those are loose teas. They kind of need to be in those boxes in order for me to even know what they are. Again, same with these teas. So I'm just tucking them again in another bamboo storage box that I got at the dollar store. So I was actually able to get everything in that corner now tucked away up in this cabinet. So it's teas and coffees all on the bottom, easy to access for us. Again, I think that's the biggest thing when you're organizing. You need to organize it so that it's the stuff that you're reaching for the most is easy to access. And when company comes over, I can kind of pull that whole little tray out and then just have this perfect little coffee tea nook. I love it. This cabinet, it just makes me so much happier when I look at it. And if you're wondering, why didn't I put labels on anything? Well, I know what everything is. I think that's the reason why I went with the glass, so I can see what's inside of it. I don't need labels, but you might need them if you want to do that. That's totally your thing. Just to mention, on my countertop, pretty much salt and pepper and oil and those knives. I try to keep easy access again. And then up here, I know it might not look that organized to you, but this is really going to make a lot of sense for me in the way that I use my kitchen and pantry items. So this is that DIY that I shared with you earlier. Here's how my spice rack sits. It takes up no counter space. It takes up no cupboard space. It magnetizes right to the top of my oven, and it's so perfect for cooking. And then this is another DIY I did a while ago. It's perfect for anybody who doesn't have a lot of counter space. You can just hang all of your fruits and vegetables in a basket in your kitchen. So those are two DIYs that I love and use in my kitchen. I will leave the videos linked down below for you. And now my kitchen's organized. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back next Wednesday with a new one. Cheers.